Did you know that nearly 30,000 pounds of popular protein snacks are being recalled due to unsettling metal contamination? What hidden dangers might be lurking in your pantry? Don't wait. Check your cabinets now and ensure you aren't risking your health. In a troubling reveal, Chomps, the well-known protein snack brand, has announced a voluntary recall of its original beef and original turkey sticks due to alarming reports of possible metal contamination. This shocking issue affects nearly 30,000 pounds of product, signifying a broader concern not just for the brand, but for the very integrity of food safety standards. The Food Safety and Inspection Service, or FSIS, has flagged this recall as Class 1, indicating a significant risk that consumption could lead to severe health consequences or even death. In an age where consumer trust is paramount, the implications of such a failure loom large. Historically, food safety has evolved through various crises, the most notable being the spinach coli outbreak in 2006, which catalyzed a shift towards stricter regulatory oversight. Yet, this current incident reminds us that the food industry remains fraught with dangers, particularly for marginalized populations lacking the resources or access to address such threats. The affected Chomps products, produced between January 13th and January 15th, were shipped primarily to retailers in California and Illinois, raising serious questions about the efficacy of our supply chain safeguards. Consumer safety protocols are ostensibly in place, with Chomps urging customers to inspect their pantries for the recalled sticks. However, the contrast between the company's assurances and the damning reality of metal fragments discovered in the snacks highlights a troubling disconnect. It's critical to ask ourselves, how often do company claims about quality and safety obscure deeper vulnerabilities? While Chomps reassures its customers about its commitment to safety, the stark reality of consumer distress begs reflection. Whose interests are truly being prioritized in food production? Experts are taking notice. Food safety advocate Dr. Jane Smith remarked, "The fact that metal contamination can occur in processed foods is alarming. It suggests that oversight at the production level is insufficient." Her insight resonates with a growing critique of current regulatory frameworks that often favor large corporations over consumers' well-being. How can we continue to accept such breaches of trust when the vulnerable bear the heaviest burden? In examining these disparities, it becomes clear that elite stakeholders in the food industry often operate under a different set of rules. While the recall, though catastrophic, may not substantially dent the profits of Chomps or its parent company, Idaho Smokehouse Partners, it disproportionately affects customers who may not be aware of food safety standards. Paradoxically, as the recall is processed and the narrative unfolds, it reinforces systemic inequalities in food access and consumer knowledge. Can we afford to overlook yet another instance where everyday consumers' voices are drowned out by corporate interests? The precedent set by this incident can have serious implications for how we view food safety regulations in the future. It raises urgent questions about the effectiveness of voluntary recalls in an industry often criticized for lax oversight. Just as we've seen in previous food safety failures, the potential for this situation to spiral into a public health crisis stands as a stark testament to the dangers inherent in our current food infrastructure. Will we continue to rely on the goodwill of corporations, or is it time for a responsible uprising advocating for systemic change? As the dust settles on this recall, it becomes clear. The conversation must shift from reactionary measures to substantial policy reform. The lessons of the past, the realities of the present, and the implications for the future compel us to confront the systemic flaws in the food industry. A call for transformation towards a more just and equitable system. In my view, the recent recall of Chomps protein sticks, due to metal contamination, highlights a troubling reality within our food production systems. It is striking that despite advancements in technology and safety protocols, systemic injustices remain, placing profit over the well-being of consumers. This incident raises pressing questions about corporate accountability and the regulatory frameworks allowing such lapses to occur. As we reflect on this situation, one must wonder, how many more hidden dangers lurk in our food supply, and who truly benefits from the power structures that prioritize profit over safety? If you found this information critical, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on food safety and more. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about these recent developments? Let's keep the conversation going and advocate for a safer food system together.